So, Honorable Chairperson and other eminent speakers, respected participants and others, students. So, my presentation, I can talk about that maritime trade and Indian soft power, how to linkage with the actually Eastern India and Southeast Asia, particularly Burma and Thailand, Indonesia, how they linkage. That is actually I rooted from how our heritage and soft power in that 3rd century BCE, and that is also the dominating. The Mauryan Empire, the Chandragupta Mauryan, he was the first time they actually boosted the maritime trade and also the not only that the maritime trade but also the intellectually our soft power, the expanding the Southeast Asia. That at that time also he established the Tokushima University. This is the first university in the world, and that is also the internationally reputed, and that also the chancellor of Kautilya and Kautilya Arthashastra. That was we are actually getting that many references and actually inscriptions and other actually they are court rituals of the Southeast Asia country, basically the Thailand and Indonesia and also the Burma. Uh, the, this is also this next times, the Ashoka times, the Buddhism, actually diffusing the Buddhist trade. We are talking in our actual methodology that trading the Buddhist trade that times, that trade route. We are my paper also published the archaeological review. That is also the we are actually the Ashoka is Ashok Samrat Ashok. He also globalization. There are two things. One, the maritime trade, and also the Buddhist culture and Buddhism, the whole Southeast Asia, and extended the Greek and Roman part. That also we did. So we can see the Southeast Asia country how they are still now the practices the Indian cultures. We are talking the Greater India. Now the technology uses the Greater India, that also the part of that time, 6th century BCE, and that is also the started. So the how the Buddhism, the Buddhist actually the two sects. There are also the Mahayana Buddhism and also Theravada Buddhism. The both Buddhist sects also the dominating the whole Southeast Asia. That is also the and also the traders also. There are many contributions. I later times the traders how to they contributed the expanding the our ideas, our cultures to that countries, and how to the actually deep relation between traders and also the missionaries means that actually missionaries people. We are just mentioning that time the Colombo port. That is also significant actually play that trade and cultural exchange to Southeast Asia. Do you know that the actually Colombo is a strategic place still now actually in the south and any place in the, we are connected actually in Odisha and Colombo, and that's why the every actually king, which Ashoka, why the Ashoka they captures the Kalinga. There are also the another issues, but that is most important thing. Kalinga is we referred in Mahabharata, we referred in Jatakos, and because that time the Kalinga also the uses as a port, but that is also the actually sophisticated development in that 4th century and 3rd century, and that also the 6th century BCE, that times. So we are getting the lot of actually references in inscriptions in Burma. There are also the Kalingo, and there are also the chronicles, many Burmese chronicles. There is also Hamannas. There is also mentioned the Kalingo. Not only that, the Kalingo also the still now they practices the one festival. So there is a Bali Jatra. Actually they are also not only Burma. They are also the very close to Indonesia, and we are in later times also the Palo period. There is also they are sending the huge actually rice to the Sompur Mohavir. That is, we are getting the literary sources. Then the next we are see the Tamil. There is an international port. How to actually tabloid, so there is a lot of we can evidences, the Chinese references, they are also the recorded. They how to the tabloid internationally linkage with the China and all the Southeast Asia, these countries. And not only that, this port, actually port city, the very actually sophisticated port city, we are compared to modern any city. So that port also the place, that is also the, you can see the we can study in Medipur, that is also Bengal. There is also the title. The many title also, the many type of the titles, happy, bag. We are getting the lot of titles because they are mixing that times to now. They are also carrying this culture, the very sophisticated and complicated culture that developed in actually present Mendipur that is located in Tamil Nadu. So the that times the many the actually the monsoon, the very important actually the sailor for carry these ships. We can April to October and November to March. That's also two monsoon. They are also selling, and that pattern also discovered the actually in eastern part the October and November. There is also Kartik and Ashwin Mas. That is also they can use the eastern sailors. They are sales to the China and other part. There is also we can see it is not possible one monsoon that will complete actually their journey for one monsoon to China. So there is also monsoon patterns. You can see how the various types of the spices, and I will not detail this. How to what are their list? The list is very long. So they are actually linkage to not only that the trading purpose, but also they are food item. They are also the cultural and other things. And many culture, religion, they are also the transmission. And long time the culture was transmissions and that area, and people also accepted. It is not that they accepted the food. You can change the food pattern, dress pattern, names. You are the Indonesia, now the Muslim country, but the name, all the name, we are actually collecting the names. The names is originally the Sanskrit. All the names you can, any names you can collect, and they are rooted. The name is they basically rooted the Sanskrit. And this is also Gupta times. This is a very dominating actually trading patterns, and they are also dominating this. Not only that, they are colony established in Far East and Southeast countries, and there is also the another books, the very important books, the Periplas of Elephantcy. These actually books, actually we are not identified who is the author, but these books also elaborately actually discuss how the sheep, within the sheep what is the crisis? That within the ship there are many crises also be there. There are also they are described the many actually ships also be there vacant. There are also the many ships also the disease infection disease also be there. They mentioning and they are actually this also the map they how to the they are the connectivity the Archimedes and Red Sea the all these but the still now these books also very this manuscript also the three places also be there and it was also they published in Calcutta University the books and it is also the Bengali translation and my teacher also the translation in Bengali. So these books also the actually the important book for maritime trade in first century CE and that actually first time they use the Eritrean Sea actually the we can Indian Oceans the name is Eritrean Sea. That is also be there, and also we can the issues this comes that issues the name the Tulsidas. Also the translation Ramayana that is also mentioned the actually Indian Ocean. So there are also Bharatiya Mahasagar, the Bharat Mahasagar. There are also they use these names also be there. Then another actually we are the 8th century CE. There are also a lot of linkage with the Tibet and Eastern India, the gold, and they are also developed the many regional kings and regional things also be there. There are also be linked, and that base we can see the actually soft power, our soft power developed the Nalanda, Sompur Mahabhar and Sargon Mahabhar, Bakshanagar and Pila. I also published how they connected the how to Nalanda ideology, Nalanda intellectually control the whole Southeast Asia. That is also be our two paper, my actually published paper also be there, and you can see this actually Alexander Cunningham 1861. Before that we don't know the actually Nalanda. That is also the Kumar Gupta first they are established the Gupta period. We can software soft power how to the expanding in Gupta period. That is also rooted in Nalanda, established by the Nalanda. And the Gupta king, they are also the Brahmanical king, the Hindu king, but they established the Buddhist university. And you can see this, that is also the 1861 that actually Nalanda. And Nalanda, that is also we have developed this how the Nalanda city, their city is Nalanda, and also you can see this Nalanda, all these buildings and the three actually this library, intellectual library. So we are see that the Nalanda culture, there are also the expanding the Assam, Bengal and Bihar, they cross Kachar valleys, Lusa hills, the Manipur, there is also connectivity Chittagong and that place. And we identify that the Buddhist monk, the Buddhagupta and followers, they travel that route, and we are identify Buntavardhan, that is also the Kundavardhan. We are identified Balu, that is also the Pegu. And that also there are also the water route also be there, and Gomati and Maini, all rivers also the connectivity also be there. And we are all these Chinese people. The Chinese people means that now our different Mongoloid race, they came from the same route and expanding the whole northeast India. We are this Nalanda seal. This seal also is getting this actually many monasteries, and that monastery also we are now the Calcutta University, Delhi University, they controlling this actually affiliation, and that affiliation we are getting this Nalanda, the archaeological evidences, the Indonesia, the Barbadus, and also the Burma, all their university. The Sompur Mahabhar, that is also the most important Mahabhar. There is also the World Heritage Site, and that is also the 2,000 students also be there. And you can see that the Songpur Mohabia and Barbados, there is also same size, the 8 meters and 7 steps. We are developing the model. This also the Songpur Mohabia models, and then is also the actually Barbados models. And the all these actually monastery, Mohabia and temple, the same artisans groups they build up. There are the exchange program, because we can, all these evidences also be there. There are also the lot of evidences there. They are the Palo period. They are the linkage to Indonesia very deeply. This is also the Barbados, and there are the 7 states. And we are getting this actually lot of Jatok stories in Barbados, and this is also the relief plan of the Barbados 8th and 9th centuries. And also the not only that, there is also the our Panchatantra, also the descripts actually in minute temple we are there. And also the Songpur Mohabir, you can see this terracotta panel. This panel is very sophisticated, third type burning process. The steel is existence, and this is the Sargon Mohabir, and we are getting this the Moinamoti and Sargon Mohabir. There are the same artisans groups. The actually terracotta, the third type burning process also.
We have limited time.
And this I can finish it. And this is also the actually Nalanda seal. What are the seal also be there? With the seal also the controlling that the Nalanda seal. What are the actually monastery also be there? That all this monastery they controlled by the Nalanda. That is also the evidences. So we are getting the archaeological evidences. So I am not a detailed discussion. That is also Pilak. The Pilak also they connected the Arakan, and that is also the route. And this the Myanmar, and we are getting the same actually the big patterns, the big size, and also their terracotta pattern. All are we can be linked with this Madamoti, Nalanda, Pilak, and Boxorogo. They are also connected, and they are believed that the actually Mauryan period to the 7th century, 8th century, there are also the connectivity also be there. And present times, the same route they use the actually drugs. They are also business also be there in northeast, and also the Rohingya people. They came to the same route. There's the same. Actually, many actually the infiltration also they uses the same route. So the border security people they know that the route they are also the what are the uses the route, and this route also the mentioning the Rajmala the Tripura king chronicles, and that chronicles also the Rajmala king also the use that route, and they reach the Arakan court. Thanking you.